Hey friends, and welcome to another episode of the Soul CEO podcast. This is episode 21, and my name is Rachel Picard. I am your host, and this at Soul CEO, we are all about helping network marketers and entrepreneurs build a profitable business without losing their family, their friends, or their soul. This podcast has been an absolute joy to create so far, and I hope you are loving it. If you're a brand new subscriber, thank you so much. And if you could do me a favor and hit 5 stars, leave a written review. I know you don't have to. I know it takes a little bit of time, but I really, really appreciate it, as this is advertisement free, sponsorship free, and I just want to continue bringing all the fire, the value. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you a clip from a team training that we did today, and it was talking about flipping the switch. The idea that we are in control of our mindset and the stories that we tell ourselves. And it really begins with a quote that I heard in my first year in network marketing was, the story of your mind becomes the story of your life. And how we can really take ownership of that story, and how sometimes we have situations in our life that start to become like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Man, we talk about tips on, getting an accountability partner. We talk about different fears that we're all facing. We talk about the bar method, which is not going to the bar. And really how that we are in different seasons of our life, but you are the author of the story that you want to tell. So I hope you enjoy this a ton. If you do, guys, please take a screenshot, tag me on Instagram at SoulCEO or on Facebook at Rachel Picard, and let me know what your top takeaways are. Thanks so much and enjoy the show.
Rachel is a rock star. However, I also know her to be the nicest, kindest person you would ever meet. If you needed, if I needed something, I know for a fact I could call her right now and be like, Rachel, I need this. And she'd be like, there in an instant. She has such a huge heart. And she wants your success for you more than you want it. I don't think you guys know that about her, but she sits there and prays for each one of you every day because she just loves you so much. She makes over 1 million tacos. We talk about I love tacos. She makes millions of tacos, but none of that matters to her if you're not successful. So to me, that is the heart of a leader, and it is my honor to introduce your Master Pro 10, Rachel Picard. Take it away, Rachel.
Thank you so much, Angie. I was like, wow, the way that started out, that was like a hot dumpster fire. I was like, this is going south badly, quickly, but I knew you were going to bring it around because it's true. Yeah. Just so you guys know, the first time you make your first million, you'll be a little jerk too. I promise. But then you'll be humbled, and then you're going to realize it. So I'm hoping and praying that the culture we're building here will mitigate and prevent as much of that as possible. Because ego is a systemic problem. Guys, welcome to the Team Heart Weekly Zoom. If you haven't yet taken a photo, a story, Instagram, Facebook, tag Soul CEO, hashtag Team Heart. Oh, by the way, our new Team Heart filter will be done this week, so you guys will be able to wear the crown of hearts. We put the last final touches on that today with our designer, and it's going to be, if you had no idea what I'm talking about, it's going to make your skin look flawless, and then you're going to have the team hearts just rotating around your head. It's just the cutest thing I think I ever thought of. But tonight, guys, if this is your first Team Heart Weekly Zoom, welcome. I'm so glad that you guys are here. This is a weekly tradition that we come together in a way to up-level our skill set, our mindset, and even our leadership. And I hope you guys kind of jump onto the trend that every single call we come with a Team Heart notebook. Let me see your Team Heart notebook, your Life Vantage notebook. Let me see where you guys are taking notes. I see your pens. I see Angie, you got yours. Vera, I see yours. Gil's got her black notebook. Okay, everyone's quickly grabbing. Gwen, you got a blue pen. Michelle's got green. Okay, so we got all, and by the way, I turned it off of my face. I like to see your guys' faces. I like to look at you all around when I'm talking to you guys. This conversation here tonight, I want you to be taking notes and coming every Monday night expectant that you're going to get something, expectant that something is going to hit you, that you're going to get a download, that you're going to get a nugget. And if you have that attitude of you know what, I'm looking for gold. There might be something that the host, like Angie, shares, or just so you guys know, we have a great story of one of our Pro 5s who was a top enroller last month, Alyssa Lascala. She wasn't able to be on tonight because of her schedule, but she's going to go live in the Facebook group tomorrow, sharing how she was, I believe, top 5 in the team yesterday, this last month in enrolling. So look for that. So every single week, there's somebody coming on here to give you guys with absolutely zero scarcity, our best tips, tricks, and tactics. That's the most amazing thing about network marketing. If we were in real estate right now and Angie was crushing in real estate, do you think she'd come onto this call and tell you all of her tips? Where she's finding her leads, what she's sending them, how she's following up? It would never happen. It would never, not in a million years. And so unless you pay big dollars to be in masterminds, right? To people that have retired out of the business and now train. This is what's so phenomenal about direct sales is that as we rise, we all grow together. And as we improve, it is very much a culture of Team Heart to be helpful. So tonight's topic is about flipping the switch. If you guys don't know me, I've been in this industry for 14 years, 4 years, almost 5, a raging, epic, incredible failure. I got started at the age of 21. I was a college dropout. I made my list of names my first day in business, and it was 81 people. And at that time, I went through like a launch guide and I filled it out, wrote the names, listened to my sponsor, being a good, like coachable little 21-year-old punk kid. And I called all 81 people and not one of them wanted anything to do with my product or my opportunity. A big fat whoop. And so I had to refocus very quickly and I needed to find leads. I committed to this business. I knew it could work. And I remember even saying to myself and others, I'm going to give this 18 months, hell or high water. I'm going to make it work. Now, guys, in perspective, 18 months at 21 years old, that's a lot of your life. So I was like, that seemed like forever. That seemed like so long. Thankfully, I missed the memo that cold calling was scary. So I began cold calling businesses for that company at the time. And I called business owners and entrepreneurs out of the blue. And I started pitching them the product I was selling. My first month, I signed up 0 people, absolutely zilch, nada, didn't put one single number on the board in that business. But as Angie was sharing, activity has lag time. Activity has lag time. And the next month, I signed up 12 people inside of my business and I had replaced my full-time income as a retail manager at 21 years old. And I was now full-time inside of the network marketing space. I went on for the next few years, failing forward until about 10 years ago, almost to the day that I partnered with, I believe, the right people, the right time, with the right product and the right message, and a woman named Tara Wilson. You've heard me say her name all the time. She was just on last week's call. Love her customer concepts and ideas. And she taught me how to crawl, walk, then run in this business and in this industry. We went on to create a very successful team together over about 4.5 years that led us to this opportunity, to this company. And I couldn't be more blessed. 5 years, 4 months in, and I'm still, if not more, as excited than I ever have been. It just seems like maybe it's the products. I don't know about you guys. If you're not super motivated, maybe you need to drink more of our go-go juice. Did you have your go-go juice? Do you need a double? Do you need a triple? I'm not going to judge. Do you need to take more of your little synergizers? Get on it. Whatever you need to do, hype yourself up. It works. But today, guys, I want to share with you some of the lessons that I have learned on flipping the switch. Now, we use that terminology in wellness all the time, and I want to talk about flipping the switch on mindset, flipping the switch on belief, flipping the switch on results. We are now at the first of the month. I love a new year. I do. My birthday's on January 2nd. Do you guys know that? I'm a New Year's baby. I came right at my due date and 1 minute before noon, I was ready for lunch. It's probably why I'm perpetually hungry. Mom, do I have a tapeworm? My mom's on this call. Honestly, I came on my due date and I was there ready to eat. Let's go. But January 2nd, I love New Year's because it's a new year, right? I love new months. It's a fresh start. Wipes clean. In our business, it's a calendar month. So whatever you produce in January, we go back to 0 and we can start over fresh. I love new weeks. This is why we have a call on Monday. So we can dust off any of the failures, any of the muck, any of the stress, and we can go into the new week with new intentions. I love new mornings. I love new mornings. To me, no matter what happened the previous day, no matter how I failed, no matter what I did wrong, I can come humbly before my maker, and I can truly have a new start. I love it, the reminder of starting fresh. Now, it would be irresponsible and almost delirious of me to not recognize the fact that we are in some really trying times. We're in some crazy times. Now, some of you guys have been affected less, and some of you guys have been affected more. We have COVID, we have lockdowns, we have quarantine, 2020. Guys, how many of y'all are ready for some precedented times? I'm really excited to not be living through like historical moments anymore. like this is history making. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of done with this. But some of us had to make major pivots in our strategy. I'm so grateful that we are a 95% social media team, because when things locked down, we didn't really miss a beat. Some of us had to make adjustments into our personal lives. Now you have kids at home, or maybe you don't have the family support because people are kind of quarantining, right? So maybe where you had all these other helpers, you might not have that. Maybe you're going nuts. You're like, if I have to sit on this kid Zoom one more time and help teach them and direct them what a dangling participle is, you're like, I didn't even barely pass trigonometry. I shouldn't be I'm not qualified for algebra. How many of moms are feeling this way? I'm not qualified to be helping you teach this, get these kids back in school. Some of you guys are dealing with tough times in your personal life. I have seen more in the last 7 days, abrupt experiences that were because of a lack of self-care, that were a lack of good mental health. I've had friend after family member sharing confidently, confiding in me, saying that their mental health has been affected. Some of you guys, it's the kid. Some of you guys, it's your significant other, your spouse. And some of you guys, we're just kind of calling pandemic fatigue. And I know for some of you, you are just feeling so elated because you just got off of a really great month and you're like, what is she talking about? I'm killing it. I'm crushing things up. But I know that we're all in different seasons. So don't compare your season with somebody else's season. You see Amber White crushing the board. You see Angie Clay crushing the board. You see Milena crushing the board. You see Dina Brock putting in another 9 customers. I think she's at 700 people enrolled in LifeVantage so far. And you get you start to compare. You see all these people hitting the pools, hitting the ranks, and you can start to compare. Don't compare your season to them. Some of you right now, and this is a call for you, and if it's not right now, it will be next week or next month or next year, that you're going to remember this moment. That you're about to hit a wall. You're at a precipice that you can break down or you can break through. And it's of my inclination and my motivation to give you guys a tool, to give you guys a process, to help you start to think a little bit differently, because we all have our story. Whatever is going on over the last year or the last month or the last week or the last 24 hours or our entire life, 3 or 4 decades on this planet, 6 decades on this planet, we all have a story. Now, you guys might have seen me at times share a visual that we have an external story and we have an internal story. So we have the external story is what we project, right? This is what people see. This is what we do. This is what we accomplish. This is our title. This is our rank. This is our bank account. I call this the mask. How are you doing? I'm fine. No, how are you doing? How are you doing right now? How are you doing? I'm fine. Because then we don't want to showcase at all that we could possibly, potentially maybe be falling apart. We don't want to be vulnerable. We don't want to talk about the sins or the issues or the patterns that we're dealing with or the stress. We don't want to share the fact that maybe our finances are crumbling or we're dealing with a health issue. I'm fine. Internally, we have a story as well. Internally, our internal person is our thoughts, it's our fears, it's our doubts, it's our emotions, it's our beliefs, and it's our experiences. And this kind of paradox of having 2 people in one and kind of shifting it with everything that is going on, I need to talk to your internal person today. Because if we're going to flip the switch on your results in February, it is an internal conversation. One of the first phrases I ever learned in network marketing, write this down. The story of your mind becomes the story of your life. The story of your mind becomes the story of your life. Now, within our story, all of our stories, we all have a story. I hope I get a chance to hear yours in depth someday over coffee or kombucha or go-go juice. I hope so. Our stories have been molded by the wins and by the losses, right? Like Jenna, like you have a story. Amy, you have a story. She's probably painting that story right now, right? I see you. Go for it, right? Get that all out in the canvas, girlfriend. I know it's therapy. I'm with you. I've painted before. I get it, right? So our story has been molded by our wins and our losses, our peaks and our values. Everything we have gone through in our life is culminated into who you are today. There's a quote that I shared recently, and I love it so much. Our background and circumstances may have influenced who we are, but we are responsible for who we become. Our background and our circumstances may have influenced who we are, but we are responsible for who we become. Who's responsible? Say me. Go to the chat right now. Guys, by the way, go to the chat. You give me life. Like, tell me, like, give me nuggets. Turn on your cameras. I like to see it. Like, I feed off of you. I'm an energetic being. Like, give it to me. I'm like a robot. Like I literally charge up when y'all are like, yes, me. I am responsible. I am responsible. Darlene says, I'm responsible. Susan says, yes, I'm responsible. So we may have had situations, abuse, betrayal, loss, grief, disease, challenge, victory. We've had all these things, right, that have turned us who we are, but we can decide. We can flip the switch. Now, what is the flip the switch that we're really talking about? We're talking about things like the bar, B-A-R, B-A-R. I'm not talking about vodka. Y'all are crazy. No, we're not doing tequila shots up in here. What are you talking about right now? I see you laughing, Vera. No. Do not step away from the fridge, Gail. We're not doing, sake bombs right now. No. BAR stands for belief, action, results. Your belief, whatever you have a belief, dictates your actions, which influences your results. Belief, mindset. Now we're into it. We're talking about the 6 inches between your ears. If we're talking about having a better month this month, if we're talking about flipping the switch on the results, we've got to focus here. Put your hand on your head. Right here. Shake it around. Give it a little, some of y'all need a little lobotomy going on. I'm like, oh man, if I could just give everyone a little like self-belief, little Rachel lobotomy to like insert, I'm going to do that to you tonight. I'm going to do my best. It won't be painful, I promise, okay? Now, this BAR method, this is a great example. We have things in our life that turn out, they're external things that happen, situations, reactions, different circumstances happen, and we blow it up. We make a mountain out of a molehill. And in fact, when it happens to us, we go back to the internal person and we re-edify and we reconfirm all the stories we told ourselves. Here's a great example. You're brand new into the business, or you're not. You send out a video the first time. Send out the video through the app, super excited, and the prospect says, no, thank you, this ain't for me, or it's a scam, or right? Isn't that how you imagine that they sound? That's exactly how I imagine them sounding. When they're responding to me with crap, right? Just like that nasty little, they come at you with a rejection, and then all of a sudden that hits us, and we go to our internal person and we're like, see, I knew it wouldn't work. I knew. My mom said I'd be a failure. You're 45 years old. You're like, that teacher said I was no good. I knew it. So Sally on Facebook just confirmed it. So we commit to this whole big process when all somebody said was, nope, not interested. Nope, not for me. And you're like, I don't want to play anymore, right? So our belief in like, okay, I'm not good enough. But what about when somebody quits? Okay, you got a little team going, right? Okay, Holly, got your little team going. Got Angie's going, got some new runners. Everyone's super excited. And then boom, somebody quits. And then the molehill becomes a mountain because our internal beliefs and the story that's been in our head for so long is like, well, I'm not influential and I really can't lead and nobody's really gonna like me. I mean, Bobby threw me off the teeter-totter once. He didn't like me. Nobody likes me, right? Or maybe somebody hurts you, right? And maybe it was something that was so small. They said something slight or they were a little critical or whatever. And you're like, see, all people suck. I don't like anybody. I don't like men, I don't like women. By the way, that was me. At 21, when I joined network marketing, fun fact, I did not like men and I did not like women. No, I didn't. Why? Because men and women had hurt me. Men and women had hurt me in my life. So on the front end, I was just the same personality, but a lot more jagged and rough around the edges, as Angie implied. So I was like, you're charismatic. But inside, I didn't trust nobody. Nobody. So some of you guys, your internal story is projecting in your prospecting. It's projecting in your leadership. You're wondering why you can't lead a soul. It's because you don't trust them and they can sense it. Or maybe it's because you have quit so many times in your life. You started and stopped a million diets, started and stopped a million businesses, started and stopped a million careers, and you have created a story, a resounding looping tape, cassette A, B, right? Remember those cassettes? Anybody old enough to remember cassettes? Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, okay. So on back in the day, there was these cassette tapes and they had an A side and a B side. Some of you all have the same dang tape playing all the time. I'm not good enough. Nobody's going to love me. I'm not worthy of success. You've heard horrific things. I get it. The good news. There's good news coming. I know this is getting really down, but there's really good news. I have good news for you. Keep the pen and paper going. So how do we identify the story? How can we really get down to the root of where you were at last month and getting a change? How can we have a breakthrough moment? How many of you guys are ready for a breakthrough? Drop a 1 in the chat. You guys are ready for a breakthrough? That is your time, that you know that this, I've had enough of this. We need to self-identify. We need to begin flipping the switch on our mindset. This starts with self-evaluation. Number 1, pen to paper. What is the number one thing you want to accomplish inside of this business in 2021? In this year, what is the number one thing you wish to accomplish? Now, it might be a rank. It might be an income. It might be, because of those things, then an action, quitting a job, retiring your husband, paying off debt, whatever. Like, you have some sort of goal. How many of you guys have got a goal? Drop a 2 in the chat. Like, you have the goal, right? Do you know it? Now, my question is it your goal? Or is it a goal that somebody gave to you, that somebody put on you, that your parents or your spouse or somebody else or your upline? Is it because you saw that Angie Clay had a goal for Pro 7 this year, so you're like, okay, I guess I should be a Pro 7 too? Guys, we don't always have the same goals. And again, not all of us are in the same season. Some of y'all have like one baby on each hip. It's going to be really difficult to run to 6 figures with, babies on your boob. It's going to be hard. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's going to be hard. So there's different seasons. You got it written down, right? You got it written down. Now, taking that, breaking it down, granular, that's 30,000 foot view. That's 11 months away. We have time. It's there. It's urgent, but there's time. What do we need to do this month to get there? So if you want to hit a rank, if you have an income goal, you kind of break it down and say, great, step 1 of that goal would be to get to here. So if you're a Pro 2 and you want to become a Pro 5, maybe the goal is to get to Pro 3 this month. Does that make sense? So you reverse engineer the goal. Now, drop a 3 in the chat when you have this written down, when you have this completed. Now, I know that this can be challenging because sometimes dreaming is difficult. It's not hard for a toddler. Definitely not hard for a 5-year-old. You ask any 8-year-old what they want to do. I'm going to the moon. I'm going to be president. I'm a veterinarian. They don't even know how to say it. I'm gonna be a veterinarian, right? They don't even know there's like, I'm gonna solve world peace. Just the cutest things. But then we get so numbed out, dumbed out, knocked down, bulldozed by all like the failures, the naysayers, the booers. You know the booers, right? Oh, you guys don't have booers in your life? Boo. Oh, you joined a company? Boo. Oh, you joined you're now selling weight loss products and anti-aging products? Boo. Oh, how many guys got boos? All right, raise your hand and got booers? Haters. Guys, just fun fact, all the boos always come from those in the stands. The boos never come from those in playing the game. Never comes from those on the field, those putting in the work, running the miles, in the practice, getting the victory. The ones that have the championship rings, those aren't the ones booing. It's the ones in the nosebleeds. Those are the booing ones. So what is the number one thing you want to accomplish this year? And then breaking it down this month, my second question, what is the story you continue to tell yourself on why this is hard? Or even worse, impossible? What is the story you continue to tell yourself on why this is hard, or worse, it's impossible? What is the resounding tape playing in your head? What is it saying? Now, I'll tell you guys that sometimes the tapes that we're playing, they are completely BS. And if we follow the story, it is rooted in fear. If we're going to flip the switch on your results, we've got to follow the fruit down to the root. The tape that we're telling ourselves is usually fear. You guys want to admit, any of you guys like saying, yeah, I'm seeing some nodding going on, that we have some fears like holding us back? Right? Angie's like, Vera's like, Gwen's like nodding her head. Yeah, it's the fear that's holding us back. It's the fear of rejection. When somebody says no, it stops 50% of salespeople, by the way. 50% of people in sales say that they do not want to go for a close because they just don't like hearing the word no. So you want to become a better seller, just get comfortable with the fact that no's are part of the process. The company pays us to hear no's. They don't pay us to hear yeses. Because if they paid us just for yeses, like if it was that easy, if all we got was yeses, we'd make peanuts. This is why we make so much. They pay us to hear no's. Some of you guys, it's the fear of loss of social esteem. That is different than rejection. It's deeper. It's more permanent. The loss of social esteem is like, I'm going to go share this with my best friend. She's going to think I'm crazy, and then it's always going to be weird for between us. I'm going to talk about this with my mother-in-law, and if she doesn't get it or see it, I might be treated differently or cast aside or the black sheep of the family. The fear of loss of social esteem is real in network marketing. It is real. The other tape that going on following the fruit to the root of fear is the fear of success. What if I do it? What if I actually make it happen? Like, what if I actually am crazy enough and dumb enough to do what she says and it works? What if it works? What if it works and then what if I'm at the top? What if I can't handle it? Whoa, what if I can't handle it? What if I'm not mature enough or emotionally stable enough? What if I can't lead them? Like, ah! And then the fourth one is the fear of failure. And this is the strongest one. One of the greatest fears in all of us, and I see this tremendously in entrepreneurs, is the fear of giving it our all and then it's still not being quite enough. The fear of, Michelle's like, yes, yes. The fear of putting it all out in the field. I have a phrase I say all the time, leave it on the field, leave it all out in the field. Meaning like you gave it your all and feeling like, what if I did and it's still not enough? And that means I'm not enough. Guys, our fear stands for false evidence appearing real. And guys, it's often false evidence. It happens all the time. Have you ever, like, your spouse was like really distant? How many of you guys, raise your hand if you have a spouse or had a spouse ever? Ever had a mate? Ever had a boyfriend? Girlfriend? Man friend? Right? Raise your hands. Keep them up. I want to see. How many guys have ever had a friend? A lover? Is there any time when you've been in a relationship and you can put your hands out, raise them back up if they've ever at times you're like, they got really distant for some reason. You're like, they were in like a bad mood and really quiet. And then, do you remember such a, I remember this is like high school for me and like last week. No, seriously, like it happens all the time. So like all of a sudden your spouse is like moody or distant or they're like internalizing. And then you're like sitting there like, well, what's going on? And then you're like in your head. And then you're thinking like, oh, did I burn his toast in the morning? Oh, I didn't cook, the dinner wasn't good. Like, oh, do I smell bad? When's the last time I showered? And like, does he still think I'm cute? Is she still, like, I've gained some weight. Does she think I have a man bod now, or dad bod? Like, and we're like, and then you're like, you're in your head. Oh, you're all laughing. What did I do wrong? What, everyone's in the chat. Amanda, what did I do wrong? Oh, what did I do wrong? False evidence appearing real, right? And then you're like, he doesn't love me. She doesn't love me anymore. I bet there's another woman. I bet there's another man, right? Like how many guys, like your spouse is like in a weird mood, and then like you literally spiral down to like, he's having an affair. Like, it's over. What am I gonna do? Where are the kids gonna live? What am I gonna do for a living? Like you're like planning out everything, right? And then you finally get the courage to talk to them. And you're like, what's going on? You're like, are you okay? Like, oh, I just have really bad gas. It ends up being like the most simple thing ever. Like it's usually, and I laugh because it's usually always digestive. Like, oh man, I haven't pooped in like 2 days. And you're like, oh, that's it? Okay, let's get you some prune juice, right? No, never happened to you guys? Okay. It's so funny how we have like this false evidence appearing real. And like, I've had people that have said this to me because I have RBF. If you guys know what RBF is, put in the chat. Don't swear, but like maybe with the censorship little thing, RBF. So I've had people that don't know me so well, but they're kind of just getting to know me. And like we're hanging out around together and they're like, I thought you were mad at me. I thought you didn't love me. I thought like you didn't even look at me. I said, first off, if I don't have these glasses on, I can't see you. I am Mr. Magoo, like legit. So if we're at an event together and I just don't like acknowledge you, I am blind. Okay? I am terribly, terribly blind. So, other than that, no, as an introvert, my face just does what it does. It doesn't mean that I'm mad. I am just thinking, I am just processing, I am analyzing and people watching. Like, I'm sorry. That's how God built my face. Okay? So, do not assume that people, like, we assume, like, we build this whole thing. Again, molehill to mountain. Okay, I got off track. But guys, you know what? I just get off track. This is sometimes how it goes here. Like we're just gonna, if I feel like God needs to share something with you, I'm just gonna share it. Okay, that's just how it is. I have good news. I promise you I had good news. We have all these fears. We have all these tapes. We have all these stories. We have all these internal beliefs that are impacting our lives, our relationship, our health, our business success. The good news is you can flip the switch. Research is showing that not only do we have the ability and the capacity to pay attention to, but also to stop the chatter. To stop, grab your heads again. We can stop the story. We can reduce stress. We can rewire our brains. Hallelujah. We can reinvent our relationships by responding to things differently. You can flip the switch. Say it in the chat. I can flip the switch. I can flip the switch. See, when I realized this, it was so good news. It was the gospel. Like, this is good news because I first understood this at about 22 to 23 when I began unpacking this concept. That the key to unlock the goodness, the richness, and the abundance that God has for me. And I'm not just talking materially. I'm not talking about possessions. I'm talking about peace, right? The key to unlock all of it was in my hands all along. How good is that? I held the key. I held the switch. Guys, show me your hand. You have the key. It's in your hand. You don't have to feel the way you feel. You don't have to struggle the way you feel. You don't have to continue on. Guys, this ability, you can literally go into that tape player, take out that tape, or press record and start reprogramming all of it. And this is what's so exciting when you begin to take responsibility of your switch. Instead of letting everything external impact your internal life. Guys, this is so huge. when you can become bulletproof in this way of being in control of your switch, whatever's happening externally will not take you down internally. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And so what this means, it allows you to stay positive when things are negative. It allows you to turn situations around. It allows you to be in a good attitude. It allows you to excel during trying times. It allows you to stay centered, to stay peaceful. It allows you to put the blinders on. It allows you to be less affected of what's going on around you. Once you realize that you can flip the switch, you can begin reprogramming. This is where we're at, guys. And that's that. We're talking about a download. Like we're talking G 2.0, right, today? Like Kelly, we're talking about Kelly 2.0. Jason 2.0. Tanya, we're 2.0. Anna, are you ready? Anna 2.0. Like, that's what we are talking about here. Like, we are talking about a divine download, a new operating system. Just like your iPhone has. Every few months, we get a new OS. This is your new OS. The only thing that is holding you back from where you are in life to where you want to be is what you're telling yourself right now. Self-talk, the conversation we have with ourselves, is the longest running conversation. It starts from the moment we're conscious to the moment we take our last breath. So how can we get focused? What do you want in February? I want you guys to write it down right now. Get it out there. What do you want? I want you to put it on paper. Now I'm going to give you guys a couple quick tips before we wrap this up, is that you might need to get an accountability partner. What I love is there's a few of you guys that are working together in different pockets that are doing power hours. I know Tanya and Patty and Amanda, you guys are running power hours together. Jenny Mallon sometimes on there. And you guys get together to work in a unit to do the do until it becomes habitual, to have the support, to have live coaching. Guys, do the power hours, post them in the group, grab other people from other teams, make it a whole thing. I don't care. Guys, when you make your goal, go public on your Facebook, in the Team Heart Facebook group. Tag your sponsors. What else can you do to hit this goal? What else can you do to flip the switch? You got to set time aside for your business. I did a launch call here today for a brand new team, a new distributor. And I said, and he's very busy. He's running a massive insurance business and he has goals. I said, anything less than 7 hours a week, 1 hour a day is a hobby. I'm sorry. If somebody says you can build this on 3 to 4 hours a week, no, they're lying. You can participate. You can be entertained. You can consume products. You can listen to a podcast. But you can't build a business on less than 7 hours a week. I've never seen it. I never did. The more you put into this, the more it'll grow. What you focus on will grow. You focus on your fear. You focus on your molehills. You focus on the false evidence. You focus on your story. That will grow. Or you focus on, hey, I'm going to go immerse myself in growth. Immerse myself in positivity. Immerse myself in serving others. Immerse myself in invites. I'm going to go create so much action that it drowns out the noise of my doubts. It's so funny is that the people that are putting the most in right now, they don't even have time to hear their story. Angie, do you have any second of the day to even hear your story? You're like, no, I'm sending out hundreds of messages. And like, there's so much going on there. It's only when you stop and then you get quiet and then you're still. That's when doubt creeps in. You gotta flip the switch. Part of flipping the switch is like turning on the ignition, pedal to the metal, like go. Set time for your business. What hours a day are you going to work on yourself, to develop yourself, to brainwash yourself? I told the legend this week, I said, welcome to your weekly brainwash call. I told him, it is my responsibility to brainwash you. Why? Because I get you for 1 hour a week. I get you for 1 hour a week. The other 167 hours, I don't know what is happening on your side of the planet. But all I know is that outside of this hour, there is a lot of negativity. Write this down. 87% of what we take in is negative. You wonder why you are not producing good fruit in your life? When everything you're consuming and reading and listening to is negative and fear? Raise your hand if you guys watch the news. Be honest. How many guys, you guys, Charlene's like dagger to the throat, like, no. How many guys, okay, but maybe you have your favorite YouTube channel. And that's where you get your news. Or maybe you have your favorite newspaper, right? Like you have your favorite, one side of the wing, left wing or right wing. Like you have your favorite podcaster, right? So you're listening to that kind of stuff. How many guys like to watch movies? How many guys like action movies? How many guys like sci-fi, horror, suspense, dramas? Guys, how many guys like that? Okay, drop a 4 in the chat. You guys like those types of movies. Suspense, drama, murder mysteries. Right, da-da-da-da. Dun-dun-dun. We're consuming fear and we wonder why we're so afraid. Oh, ouch. That was just like a little butt chat. Just like a little love tap on the booty. We're reading in things, or maybe you're diving into like the conspiracies, or like, somebody told me that aliens are coming. I'm like, okay, I think they're already here. Look at some of these people. Hello. Some of you guys were watching The Bachelorette every Monday night, or romance novels, or whatever, and then you wonder why you're dissatisfied with your spouse. Whatever we're putting into us will come out. So this is the day where the first of the month, it is Monday, it is a new month. We can choose what we see. We can flip the switch. Flip the switch on your attention. Flip the switch on your focus. Flip the switch on who you're hanging around with. Now, it's a little easier, I think, in this world of pandemic. All up here in a panorama. In a panty. We're all in a panty. So we're not around as many people. But maybe, I don't know, maybe some of y'all need to invest in some, even like it's your family. It's in your household. Maybe you guys need to walk around with AirPods in most of the time. So you just binge me on podcasts like nonstop. And you're binging like Rob Sperry and Fraser Brooks and stuff. And you're just like, I'm on a call. You just can't listen to their complaining, right? You're like, maybe it's your roommates, #family, that are just causing so much drama, right? Just walk around with AirPods on or earbuds in all the time. I'm on a call right now. You need to brainwash yourself. But at some point, guys, it needs to be a definitive moment. Are you going to flip the switch? When's that moment going to be for you? For somebody listening to this call right now, you're going to remember it. You're going to remember to this day, I was in my car. I was making dinner for the family. I was on the treadmill. I was on the couch and I said, yes, I'm flipping the switch. I said, okay, I'm going to flip the switch. I can't keep thinking and living and believing in these things because my belief is determining my actions, which are determining my results. I can't keep sitting in this indecision on the fence. Am I in? Am I out? I can't keep riding on the fears that are probably false evidence. Guys, I'll promise you this. In the 14 years in the industry of prospecting and recruiting over 1,000 people online, just in the last decade, 1,200 and some people online, not one person has punched me in the face. I've never been cussed out in this business. It doesn't mean that you won't get no's, you will. It doesn't mean that there won't be people disappointed, there will. It doesn't mean that people are not going to say crap behind your back. Guys, people say crap behind my back all the time. I just had this experience. With somebody I loved said crap behind my back. And I overheard it. Didn't know I could hear. And I had to put it in perspective. That nobody's going to love all of you. All the time. It's not going to happen. So why don't you do you this month? Why don't you just say, you know what, enough of it this month? Why don't you say, I'm going to try on something else? I was Amy for the last 42 years and 3 months and 35 days or whatever it was. And I'm going to be Amy 2.0. I'm going to be a honey badger this month. I just don't care. I'm going to go and start to put so much goodness into my brain and start pouring into others. I'm going to start auditing everything that I'm doing and listening to because this tape is no longer serving me. Guys, I love you. I love your Decide. Angie got a tattoo of Decide on her forehead. Forehand, forearm, forehead. Did you get on your forehead? On her forearm. It is delightful. On her wrist. Guys, it's time to decide. You can flip the switch. It's up to you. Grab our shirts. I want you guys to go over to the Facebook group right now and make a post in Team Heart. Let us know, what is your goal this month? How are you going to flip the switch? What does that mean for you to do this? How can we help? What sort of actions or behaviors or habits are you going to employ? And then let us come beside you and assist you in making February an insane month. I love you guys. Appreciate you.